happiness and success, family. This video is for anyone out there who finds themselves wanting to become more peaceful, wanting to become more present, and they keep getting lured in by the appeal and the addictive qualities of the ego, of identifying with the mind, of identifying with your conditioned consciousness, your personality, and therefore you become quite frustrated. You might become quite negative and harsh because that's a natural consequence of being overly identifying with your own mind. That negative naturally breeds itself insidiously into our thinking, really. And this video is primarily to teach you very quick and easy to use principles to change that, to get more peace, to become in more control of your thinking, your experience, being more grateful, being more loving, being more appreciative in your life, and therefore being able to thrive and perform in all ways at your best. So say, for example, your egoic mind's taken over. You're becoming negative, you might be becoming anxious or sad or depressed or angry or impatient in certain things. Your mind's overflowing, you're thinking too much, you're overwhelmed, you're stressed out, and you want to change that state. It's so easy. And sometimes the simplest things in life are easy. And you need to do just two things. Firstly, you need to just be able to identify when you are operating within your egoic mind, when you are thinking based upon your perspective, your beliefs, and you're becoming more stubborn and obstinate because in doing so. You need to catch yourself when you're thinking those kind of thoughts. So some thoughts that are egoic, naturally, are thoughts like, what does that person think of me? I need that to make me look this way. You know, whenever you feel like you need something, that's your ego talking, because really all we need is the present moment. That's more than enough to feel abundant. If that's not enough for you, then you are operating quite obsessively within your egoic mind. Now, there's nothing wrong with having goals. I have goals as well in all key areas in my life. I have goals as it relates to my wealth, my health, my relationships, my business, serving you guys and stuff. Like, these are my goals. I have goals, and there's nothing wrong with having goals. It's natural to always want to do better, because if you're not getting better, if you're not improving yourself, becoming a better quality human being, giving more, serving more, helping people more, giving more abundantly, experiencing these beautiful states on a regular basis, then your quality of life is going to decline. If something's not getting better, it doesn't just stagnate, it gets worse. I don't want to go into that into too much detail, but I certainly could do. So the key thing I want you to glean from this is, firstly, you need to be able to identify when you're operating from your ego, when you're obsessed with how you look, when you're thinking questions like, I can't believe that person said that to me last week, or, if this happened again, this is how I'd react. That's what I would do. I wouldn't take that again. Or when you start to operate as in, that person questioned my background. That person was quite rude. What did they mean when they said that to me? When you start to think these sort of things, this is your ego, this is your personality, this is your identity that's taken the forefront of your thinking, and it's steering I was going to say it's the ship, but it's steering whatever vehicle you want. And it's quite limiting. In fact, it's very limiting. So the first thing we need to do is to be able to identify when we're getting caught up in that analytical thought, in our conditioned consciousness, in our personality, and instead we need to kind of retract and take away and step back. And the easiest way to do that, because a lot of people, get in touch and say, Alex, man, I can't stop my brain. I think a lot. Like, what am I supposed to do? The easiest thing to do, if you can't be fully present in whatever you're doing, is simply to focus on your breathing. It's as simple as that. Just focus on every single inhale. Take deep inhale through your stomach and not just your chest. You want a very open, in-depth breath here. And really enjoy the exhale and be fully present when if you're going, but you're thinking, what am I going to do later? What should I cook later? Damn, I didn't exercise. Oh, I hate that person. And you're breathing. Like, that's not what you're doing. Yes, it's a natural process to breathe, but you need to bring your thought, you need to bring your conscious to the breath. And you're just focused on the breathing. Okay, and I didn't do it then because I was talking to you whilst I was breathing. So this is an example of what it would look like. And the more you do it, the easier it will be. And yes, you're going to have intrusive thoughts come to mind, even if they might not start off negatively. Sometimes you're unconscious because you're going to kind of freak out, and you're like, because you're uncomfortable with doing these kind of practices, because you're not used to it, for example, your unconscious will come up with ways to perturb you and to stop you from thinking that way. It might make you think of a very attractive person. It might distract you from making you think about what you've got to do later in the day, or remind you, remember, you're a very busy person, or you've got things to do, like all this breathing nonsense, now get up and go and do it. But that's your brain trying to convince you to get back to what's familiar, what's known, the sameness. And you have to be strong enough to override those intrusive thoughts that will come to you, and you need to be able to just let them pass by. And every time something comes to your mind and you're like, oh man, I forgot about my breathing, like, don't belittle yourself. There's no need to disparage yourself here. I mean, it happens. It just means you just need to focus on your breathing again, and over time it will become easier and become even better at being present and just focusing on breathing. And you don't feel like you have to sit there for 20, 30, 45 minutes, an hour and focus on your breathing, because you're going to put yourself off. If you're not used to it, focus on doing it for a couple of minutes. Then gradually start increasing it. And you don't have to keep increasing it every single day. Do what feels right to you. Because the key to success in life is being able to focus on anything for a certain period of time. Whether it be your breathing in this example, whether it is, if you're in your business or in your career at the workplace, being able to think of whatever you're doing at work, being fully present, not being distracted by things that are happening in your personal life, being professional, they call it. If you're in the gym, it's not about thinking about other things, on taking a selfie, or on being a certain way. It's about, no, I'm here to train. I'm going to give my undivided attention and be fully focused on training. And when we can teach ourselves to be focused on one thing solely, in detail, without being distracted, without losing focus, that's control, and that's being present. And the more present we are, the more loving we become, not just of ourselves but of others. So if you appreciate this video, you want to know more, make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, guys. Power, Happiness and Success with Alex Gem. Hit the subscribe button. Also click the notification bell, because every single week I release several videos and episodes and podcasts that I can't launch in its entirety on other social platforms. So you're definitely going to want to subscribe. Have a great day. Look after yourself. Be present and stay strong.